So I guess we got to hold our nose now, folks. We got to hold our nose and dig in to this nonsense. Over the course of the little break that we took here from streaming the morning show, I started to see a lot of evidence of Doechii having put a song out that made Adin Ross angry for some reason. And Adin Ross's reactions to this song have contained such disrespect. This is just the part that I do know, the part that I do understand. Such disrespect that there are certain people calling for Adin Ross to be physically harmed. And I was trying to make heads or tails of it earlier today. I had not really been digging into the news over the break that much, so I was trying to put it together. And like I said, I got a lot of tabs open here. So I was trying to wrap my head around it and started running out of time. So we're just going to have to kind of dig in at what I think is the beginning and try to parse out all of this nonsense with Doechii Talks Industry Plant Rumors, Adin Ross, and more, and new Girl Get Up track. I saw this song was released. I have not heard it yet. I will say, just at this point, I'm surprised that Doechii would address the industry plant stuff, because for anybody who actually knows anything, like for people who have like real adult human thoughts and any experience with how any of this stuff works, you know how false of an accusation that is. And if you think about it for a while, you can get a sense of why people people have that sort of thing to say about her. Let's check the song out. I haven't heard it yet, so let's. The first thing that leaps out to me, and somebody said it in the chat too. Let's go back to this headline. Doechii Talks Industry Plant Rumors, Adin Ross and more. When did she mention Adin Ross in that song? I think this is a very important question based on everything that I've heard about all of this, all of the nonsense associated with Adin Ross's reactions so far, and this headline. One would think that that she mentioned him somewhere in the song. I didn't hear anything about him in the song. If he's flipping out, there's a great reason to ask why. I mean, is he the originator of the industry plant stuff? Is that somehow tied to him? I see all types of people say it now. Where he sits in the internet cultural conversation, I could see him potentially being responsible for a notion like that getting around and becoming a popular position to hold. But she didn't mention his name. She didn't say anything about him. Yeah, she mentioned people sucking male rappers D's from the back, but got a problem when the it girl is black. If he thinks that's about him, then he's already telling on himself. And it's wild that he would take that to think that she was personally talking about him when a bunch of people say that. Okay. All right. That's a start. Ahead of the new year, Doechii set the tone with her latest track. Coming in about 3 minutes, the Florida native uses the track to address all her naysayers specifically. So this writer is convinced that she's talking about Adin Ross in this song, who's been spearheading a recent hate campaign against the TDE rapper Ross, who recently teased a diss track toward Doechii. So he's rapping now too, featuring 6ix9ine of all people, and of all people you'd want to associate yourself with. Has accused the rapper of being an industry plant. All that industry plant shit wax. See it on the blog. See you in the chat. Okay. You can't fathom that I worked this hard and can't fathom that I earned this chart. I mean, and she's really speaking to it. She's really speaking to it. I spoke on this a little bit last year, but I think it's important to sort of restate some of this. Because if you look at somebody like Adin Ross and where he sits, like I said, in the internet community culture. I mean, I don't even know if you want to call it a community. It's a patchwork of all sorts of different communities. But where he sort of represents, like, because he's not even like a Twitch streamer, right? He's a Kick guy. And Kick is a place that has a lot less rules than Twitch. Basically, Kick is a place where, I mean, it's sort of advertised as a place where you can do whatever you want, and so it's been a sort of landing spot for people who get kicked off of Twitch for various reasons. And there's a bunch of real bullshit, like real advanced, extreme, fucked up shit that goes on Kick. And I believe Aiden is like, if not a part owner of it, he's definitely a figurehead on the Kick platform. And there's an aesthetic over there. There's an aesthetic over there. Mind you, this is the same guy who he had Trump on the stream when Trump was doing his internet rounds trying to get elected. And even if you look at some of his reactions to Doechii, like, it seems as if for some reason people like Adin Ross feel threatened by the mere existence of an artist like Doechii, especially her popularity. And I think the undercurrents of that sort of get at what we discussed when we reacted to that video from, oh, I forgot the it's a brilliant young content creator, and we reacted to her video about BK, thank you, about the manosphere and hip hop sort of merging and hip hop going to the right. And I was saying then, yes, BK, and I was saying then, the link to me is very obviously it's the misogyny, right? Like, the misogyny is the bridge between this sort of alt-right manosphere shit and hip hop. And it's like, as long as that door is open in the house of hip hop, right? As long as us and the remnants of a culture that we are maintain the sort of anti-woman shit in hip hop, that's gonna be the link. Because in both cases, it's patriarchy seeking to perpetuate itself. And so when I think about why somebody like Adin Ross would be threatened by the popularity of an artist like Doechii, is because she doesn't sit in the same space that a lot of touted popular female artists sit. Like, she's not existing for the male gaze, and she's actively going at a lot of that shit. She's actively going at it. Like, I feel like culturally, people on that side see somebody like her as dangerous, and they desperately need to take power away from her. It feels like part of how the entire manosphere thing is perpetuated is in this sort of deep-seated cultural belief that a lot of men hold and a lot of women hold too. Like, there's a deep-seated belief that what they're doing is the right thing to do. I don't know. See, because I have a teenage son, I know a little bit more about some of this streamer stuff than I would like to. And there's a situation with another streamer group called FaZe, F-A-Z-E, which was like sort of the premier group, and they all fell apart over the last couple of weeks. And the guy who was in charge of it is this guy named FaZe Banks. And I bring this up for a reason. There's a popular black streamer. Probably, if you haven't heard about him, you will. He's, probably the second most popular black or third under Kai Cenat and iShowSpeed would be Black Boy Max. And this is a guy who my son was watching when this guy was just streaming in his parents' house. But now he's one of the more premier people, and he was in FaZe for a while. Recently, all the FaZe members left. Black Boy Max had left a little earlier than the last wave of people to leave. And he was laying out some of his grievances after everybody left. And he was saying that part of why he left was that a lot of the FaZe cats, and especially FaZe Banks, would say racist shit behind closed doors. He specifically said, that there was some disagreement, and FaZe Banks, who's a white dude, ended a text thread saying, F all y'all N-words, and he's a white dude. Now, FaZe Banks made a video sort of addressing all of this stuff. And he says something that was so fucking fascinating to me. he was saying, basically, he was saying that they all say it. They all say the N word. And he was saying this to say that, like, you never had a problem with me saying it until right now. So he's like trying to paint it as if Max is a hypocrite for having a problem with it, or saying he has a problem with it now when he didn't have a problem with it before. And what he was sort of establishing and really like opening a door to in a way that's like, it was simultaneously chilling and also like unsurprising, was that behind closed doors and sort of underpinning a lot of that environment is dudes feeling free to be racist, feeling free to be misogynist, right? Like in the inner circles of a lot of that, that's the prevailing attitude. And if you look at Adin Ross, right, like it feels like his freedom that he's on kick for. He's on kick so he could be an asshole. That's the whole reason that there is a kick. Is so people who have an appetite to watch people be assholes have a place to do it. And unfortunately, in our society, there's a lot of people who they won't publicly say they feel that way, but that's how they feel. And I feel like it reminds me a little bit of what happens or what has been happening in the last decade with stand-up comedy, where some of the most popular figures in stand-up comedy start to attack the left because they feel like the left is somehow taking away their freedom to say whatever they want on stage, when for a lot of us that was never the point. It was never the point for we never wanted people to be encouraged to feel free to like beat up on marginalized groups. Like that was never a freedom that we felt like needed protecting. Like we always saw it as the other side. We always saw that like the stand-up comics, the power of that was that they were able to use humor to punch up and say things that we wish we could say to power, not to punch down on people who are already marginalized. But as this sort of consciousness was taking hold in people, you saw, you know, the Jerry Seinfelds, the Dave Chappelles, in some instances go against that and feel like they needed to protect their freedom to say whatever they wanted to say. And it feels like there's a similar feeling with these streamers, especially on this kick side, with somebody like Doechii, with, you know, so the Adin Rosses, the academics, like all of them weirdo dudes, that sort of perpetuate this idea that like it's okay to demean women, it's okay to be racist, it's okay to just talk all this shit and be an asshole. They feel threatened by the emergence of this artist. Punch TDE thinks Doechii can beat Adin Ross in a fight. I'm not sure why that's important. In other news, Top Dog Entertainment president Punch jumped into the middle of the growing tension between Doechii and streamer Adin Ross with a sharp one-liner, lit up social media. I think Doe would actually mop little man in the head up fade, probably, but you know, whatever. Just post signal where of course TDE stands there because Doechii is a TDE artist. Okay, that's the first tab I have open. I have more tabs. Oh boy. Okay, Adin Ross doubles down on Doechii industry plant criticism after apparent diss. During a recent stream, see, this is where it starts to get crazy, right? Because the shit that Adin Ross has been saying after this song came out are like crazy disrespectful. Like crazy disrespectful. Like he's been saying the kind of words that's like this is not funny. It's not a game. And it's the sort of thing that would cause people to start to call for a person to get physically harmed, especially the optics of this very successful, wealthy white man with money coming at a black woman like this. I mean, especially now that I understand she didn't even say his name. That means the shit he's saying is for real out of order. Like it's for real out of pocket. During a recent stream, Ross called Doechii a dumb bee and accused her of being an industry plant. After Doechii took aim at those calling her an industry plant on her new song "Girl Get Up," Adin Ross doubled down on his criticism of the TDE rapper. On a track which features SZA, Doechii ripped into her critics, which Ross has since perceived. Thank you, writer, for this particular article. Perceived as a diss directed at him. All the industry plant shit whack. Okay, we see the lyrics again. She raps on the song. Y'all can't fathom that I worked this hard. Y'all can't fathom I earned this chart. During a recent kick stream, of course, fellow streamer Cuffum, who I unfortunately I know who that is too, and I wish I didn't. And 6ix9ine, Ross promised that he was going to go in on Doechii in a future stream. That dumb fat B, sorry, she's not fat, he started. That dumb B, that fucking botted fucking B, dude, that fucking stupid smelly whore, he says. He says about Doechii, who did not mention his name. Cuffum pushed back on Ross's comments and told him to stop criticizing the Black Queen like that. But Cuffum is a troll too. See, that's the thing about Kick. Kick is a home for the trolls. Kick is a home for the trolls, and it's like all of this, the troll encouraging and the sort of clout economy that sprung up over the past 10 or 15 years. Like this is what it's resulting in: entire very successful ecosystems where the people who sit at the center at it, like they only give a fuck about trolling. Like, I don't know, like Adin Ross recently had a NFL football player on his stream, a successful rookie wide receiver, Puka Nacua, and they're just shooting the shit, laughing, doing a stream together. And Adin Ross, who is Jewish, starts telling Puka Nacua to do a celebration in the end zone after his next touchdown. It just happens to be anti-Semitic to the point where Puka Nacua did the gesture on the stream and ended up having to apologize for it. He had no idea. He had no idea. He thought he was just going on this popular streamer's platform. Adin Ross successfully trolled him enough where he had to issue a public apology. And this is just what happens when these people they don't give a fuck about anything. They don't give a fuck about anything. They don't have a platform. They don't have values. There's nothing that they give a shit about except the clicks. It's the only thing they give a shit about is the clicks. This is the cloud economy. I don't give a fuck about none of that, Ross responded. Cuffum asserted that Ross was hating on her because she made it and shared his belief that she didn't use bots to achieve her success. Look at her monthly listeners right now, Ross said. That B went from 60 mil to fucking 20 mil. Like, I mean, I would ask, because this guy is a Drake guy too. This guy is also named in that Rico that Drake just got named in. For fucking with Stake and trying to get kids to gamble and all of that nonsense. I wonder if he looks at Drake's numbers like that, if he's charting where they were and where they are and any of that. Like, again, it's like, what is it about Doechii that bugs you so much? What is it about the artistry of this black woman and her numbers that's so offensive? Oh, Stake owns Kick. Is that true? Stake owns Kick. So this is all just a little nasty web. Wow. Okay. So I mean, so then let's keep this. Okay, Stake owns Kick. That's interesting. Because then we have to include, for context, there's a couple of lawsuits against Stake right now, and I believe this most recent one is a federal one. Right now, Stake is underwriting Drake's career. That's where he's getting all of his money from. That's why he's going online gambling all the time, because he's getting his most money not from Universal Music. He's getting his most money from Stake. And if Stake is propping up Kick, then that's a whole side of the streaming economy that if Stake and Kick go away, like a lot of these people aren't going to be allowed back on Twitch. Like some of them will, but a lot of them won't. So underpinning all of this, in the context of all of this, is this moment where like, oh, is the economy falling apart for these dudes? Is that part of the reason why they're freaking out right now? Because this federal RICO thing does not look good. Because what's happening is Stake, which is a gambling website, I believe it's based, I want to say it's Australia. It's based somewhere else. But it made a front-facing website called Stake US, which seeks to sort of advertise itself as a straight gaming website, but the back end of it is actually gambling. And it's doing that in some states in the US where gambling is illegal. So that's why this lawsuit is being brought as a RICO against Stake and everybody involved with pushing it. And if that money goes away, if these platforms go away, I wonder what happens to a lot of these people involved in this. Cuffham then argued that she blew up and there was nothing more to it than that. From what? Cradling cock and balls, Ross says. Like, what are you talking about? We'll talk about Doechii later on, but why is... he says, why is she even rapping about me? But again, what in there did he think was about him? Later on the same stream, Ross hopped into the studio with Cuffham and 6ix9ine. So Cuffham's sitting there talking about how he's a fan. And then he gets on the diss track too, which is to let you know these people are not about anything. They're not made of anything. They're little clout goblins in human suits. They have nothing. They're not anything. They're not anything. Diss track aimed at a variety of individuals, including Joe Budden, Lil TJ, Lil Durk, and Doechii. So after all of this stuff, and I haven't, I don't know if the diss track came out or whatever. I guess it probably did. I'm not going to listen to it. Yeah, look at this. There's no way I'm going to press play on this. In a million years, there's no way I'd want to hear what any of these people have to say on a microphone. Oh, my God. It's like the shitty Avengers. But so I'm not sure if it was because of what he said on stream or because of what was said in this song. Glasses Malone, who's a LA OG from forever, and Joe Budden specifically have been calling for Adin Ross to get smacked up, basically. Adin Ross calls Whack 100 as Glasses Malone and Joe Budden defend Doechii. And I gotta say, I'm happy to see that there are prominent black men, whether I agree with their platforms or not. I mean, Glasses Malone, I don't think has ever said anything I disagree with, but I haven't heard much of what he said. Joe Budden, I'm probably 50-50 on most of the time, but I am glad that they have heard enough, and I'm glad that they are speaking out. Especially because Doechii didn't say his name. Like, that's the wildest shit for all of this to me. She made a song addressing shit people say about her every day. And a bunch of people, like, this discourse on whether or not she is an industry plant and all that shit, this has been going on for like a solid 2 years now. For her to address it in a song and for him to assume it's talking about him is wild. And somebody asked, I think it was Mr. Clorox, asked for us to define industry plant. So I would say now, like in 2026, the industry plant is largely something that doesn't exist. Like you can't really have an industry plant in the way that industry plants used to work. Like an industry plant would be like what Diddy did when he was making the band or putting together that R&B group he put together. That sort of process that usually happens behind closed doors where people are picked based on their ability to sing or dance and look attractive. Sometimes it's just one person. A lot of times it was a group. Like the person behind it, I think there was like one dude also behind like New Kids on the Block and like all the way up to Backstreet Boys. I don't remember the exact people involved, but it's this process of picking people, shaping their image, packaging them with songwriters, and sort of making this product and making sure all of the industry wheels are greased in every direction in terms of marketing, in terms of payola with radio, and making these hit songs be hits. Like that's an industry plan. I'm trying to think of a good example. The K-pop industry is literally based on how the boy band industry used to work here in the States. And like so like there's no underground Backstreet Boys records because they weren't a thing before they were put together and signed, right? So like that's an industry plan. And occasionally historically there has been like where it's just one person, where some record exec saw an attractive person on the wait staff and decided that they were going to be a star. Come with me, kid, take it straight to the top and put them with songwriters and get the haircut and put whatever clothes they want to put on them and make them a star. But it's damn near impossible to do that these days. And a lot of it has to do with the amount of access that's expected of you as an artist these days. And it's the same reason why, like, there's going to be a little bit of it's a challenge facing the AI artists that certain people are trying to build as well. It's like not everybody can be Beyonce, where they're away and off the scene, and every 3-4 years they bring you this project, and that project is their engagement with the world. That project, the release and the tour, like that's what you're gonna get from a Beyonce. Most artists can't do that. Kendrick can do that. Most artists have to be to some degree accessible. There has to be a lot of fan buy-in from, if not day one, day two, right? They need to watch you rise from the ground floor. The connection that they expect with you as an artist is that they expect you to have social media, that you're on and making videos and going live every now and then, or whatever it is that they're the fan in 2026 expects all these different points of access that, like, if you're an industry plant, all that shit falls apart. Now, a lot of artists today still have teams and they have to sort of negotiate, how much of that access they're willing to put out there. But it's just so different of a world in terms of the consumption and selling of music than it used to be, that it's like very close to impossible for you to take somebody off the street and make them into a megastar. And that was the old industry plant playbook. So Doechii, by the mere fact of having music under her name that you can go find very easily before she blew up, is evidence alone that she's not an industry plant. Like, when you're an industry plant, you don't have there's no journey for people to have gone on with you. Like, that's not how it works. Now, I think the combination of an artist whose artistry is as powerful, as strong as like as a Doechii, as incredible of a performing artist that she is too, like performing and recording artist, because that's a whole nother side to this. Like, what she can do in the studio, a lot of people can't do on a microphone. And if you put that with the TDE, who has a history of knowing how to package stuff like this, because of Kendrick, that's where you get a magical blow up moment. Because all of the ingredients are together with somebody who knows how to work the recipe. That's when you get success. Success on this level is not easy to come by. And with this particular product, for some reason, I mean, for many reasons that we've sort of already laid out, the success feels threatening to people like Adin Ross. Adin Ross calls Whack 100. I don't know. Whack 100. There's so many characters in this shit. And I'm familiar with all of these rogues. But Whack 100 is like a OG. Like he's a street connected LA dude from like street connected and industry connected LA dude in a sort of unique way, but he's also like a shit disturber. He's a very messy dude. Adin Ross calls him as Glasses Malone and Joe Budden defend Doechii. I mean, like many rising superstars in hip hop history, Doechii is getting a lot of love, but also a lot of hate. Adin Ross, in particular, has been an outspoken media voice against her, questioning her intelligence, credentials, and authenticity. This has led to a lot of backlash from folks like Glasses Malone, which led Ross to call Whack 100 to address the situation as a fellow LA native alongside Malone. So maybe Adin Ross is a little legit shook by Glasses Malone calling for Adin Ross to get slapped up and is looking for help from Whack 100. Basically, the LA rapper calls out the streamer for his constant attacks on the TDE sign E, threatening to take things to a physical level for his disrespect. They're threatening me, Adin told Whack, which is now he's pulling his Karen card now. I mean, he hangs out with Drake though. So you got to expect that he would act like that. The music executive responded by dismissing Glasses Malone's colleague as irrelevant and said he would call Glasses settle things. Malone responded by basically saying that neither Whack 100 nor anyone else could stop him from doing what he wants to do. I know your people. Stop disrespecting that lady. Let's see if there's a link here that we can. Adin Ross admits to being terrified of Doechii. Okay. These headlines are going to kill me too. Adin Ross is scared that Doechii is going to sue him for defamation after dissing her in a song. But like, he's the one that hangs out with the lawsuit people. Okay. Trying to see. Okay, Glasses Malone. Here we go.
Because you think Whack, that's your man. Whack is not going to stop me from doing what I want to do. That's just not the relationship. He's not. He know I'm going to move on whatever I'm supposed to move on the right way. So he can talk to me. It makes sense. He's not going to stop me. Nobody on the West, not Whack, not Big U, not Top Dog. Nobody is going to stop me from doing what I'm supposed to do because they know I'm doing the right things. So he could say, hey, G, man, I don't know. This could get you in trouble. The difference with me and most of the people, I got no reason to, I don't give a fuck. Like even in his fucking thing, he like, I'm just going to call the police. Police come after crimes, man. Ooh. So when I slap you up and I do something to you, police they coming after. Crimes. What in the fuck make you think if I'm saying this on this fucking camera, nigga, I'm not running. I'll be right there when they show up. I done been to jail for selling drugs, punching on shit, all kind of shit. And I was just fine in there. You think I'm not going to go to jail proud that I slapped your stupid ass in the face because you keep calling this black lady a bitch? Woo! On this motherfucking thing in front of the public? What in the fucking world? I don't give a fuck which one of these people you think you cool with. I don't give a fuck if you cool with the president. You're not cuz. Y'all, I don't know what the fuck that happened to where y'all exist in this space, bro, and y'all keep doing this old punk ass shit. We all ain't streamers.
Oof, there it is.
We not all streamers. We all don't care about maintaining a relationship. I don't care that you successful. That shit don't mean nothing. Nigga, I know you from Visalia. Y'all know where you at, and I know your people. That fast. Everybody in the streets have told me where you at. Nigga, you from my motherfucking state, nigga. And you playing this shit. You can't call Whack. You can't call the president. Can't nobody stop me from doing what I want to do. So I'm telling you again, stop disrespecting that fucking lady. Woo! You can make all the content. I'm going to get next to you. You got fights coming up. You trying to promote fights. I'm going to get next to you. All I ask you to do is respect that black lady. Do your job. Make your content. Stop calling this lady out her name. Hey. Y'all streamers keep finding ways to disrespect black people on this shit.
Hey, come on.
And I totally get it. And y'all think, well, then, they fight each other. It's not the same. You are a white man. I don't give a fuck who you pray to. I don't give a fuck if it's Abraham. I don't give a fuck about none of that. You are a white man. Boy, you better look at this camera. It's y'all problem. Y'all been playing these games, and that's how y'all socialize with humans. And you've been saying all this dumbass shit behind this game. You, Neon, all these cornball ass niggas. And y'all got all these niggas that fuck with y'all because they think y'all can provide them some level of exposure. Because I don't care. I don't care. I'm not one of them. You better ask some of these niggas about what I'm on.
Woo!
All I ask you to do is stop calling that lady out her fucking name. Yes, call her Music Mac. That's your job. Do your fucking job. Stop calling this black lady a bitch and all that shit because you making us look crazy. And I'm not with that. That's the difference, bro. You're making content. And you got to call another nigga. That's not going to fix the problem, bro. Stop calling this fucking black lady out her fucking name like that. I don't care what Act do. Act is black. That's his own problem he got to deal with. You are a white man. It don't matter your religion. You a fucking white man in this country. You better look in that fucking mirror. I don't care if it's 2025 or 26 or 27. Stop talking about that black lady like that. Whatever you do on the music is fine. You keep calling her bitches, bro, it's gonna be a problem on Olivia's soul, on my life.
Hey.
I don't know what y'all doing because I don't really care, y'all little kids. But you keep disrespecting this fucking black lady on this fucking platform. You influencing a bunch of little white kids to run around thinking they can call black ladies the same thing. And then when I thought maybe I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt, bro, you running around this motherfucker, you talking about who got baby moms and kids. Bitch, I don't got no kids. But you gonna be my son, you keep playing with me.
Woo! Okay. Okay, and I love the point he made about Adin Ross does have a lot of influence. He has a lot of influence. He's sort of on the vanguard for that whole side of things. If people think they can say stuff like that and there's no repercussions, that is a problem. You know, it's important to know too, like he's saying a very specific thing. He's saying a very specific thing. He's not saying don't ever say nothing negative about Doechii. He's not saying everybody's got to be a fan of Doechii. He's saying that calling her out of her name is over the line. That thing in particular. So like he's telling him, stop doing that one thing you doing. Because there's repercussions to that one thing you doing. And shit, can't help but fuck with that. Cannot help but fuck with that. This is what Joe Budden
I do want to say I'm rooting for Glasses Malone to get all the Crips together to beat up Homeboy. I am. Sorry. Because I think that's who she was talking to in the song.
Yeah. I didn't know at first.
She was talking to little fuckity fuck.
The more I looked into it, she was directly talking to him.
Oh, no shit.
Because he said some wild shit.
Yeah, he said a bunch of bullshit.
Oh, really? Wild shit, yeah.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah.
And then there was some back and forth after she put the song out. And I like Glasses Malone saying what he said, and hopefully he meant it.
I like that.
All right, that's it. There's one more thing I found that I wanted to share. This is a BET.com article that I felt like was a great place to end this discussion because it sort of reflects how I'm feeling a lot about this too. And it sort of reflects what we just heard Glasses Malone say as well. This is from Kalila Archie, and this was put out January 2nd here on BET.com. This is Dear Adin Ross, keep Doechii's name out of your mouth. Adin Ross's obsession with Doechii isn't critique, it's misogynoir, and the black men co-signing it need to do some serious self-reflection. There's a difference between criticism and fixation. What Adin Ross has been doing to Doechii isn't music discourse, fandom banter, or even hot take culture. It's the same tired, ugly playbook black women face the second we win too loudly, too visibly, and without asking permission. After Doechii addressed the industry plant dog whistle on Girl Get Up, a track featuring SZA, Ross decided the song was about him. That alone tells you everything. Centering himself in a black woman's clapback about systemic doubt isn't confidence, it's insecurity wrapped in entitlement. And the response? Slurs, demeaning language, conspiracy math about listeners, and the kind of sexualized insults that always show up when black women don't perform gratitude. Let's call the tactic what it is, misogynoir. The reflexive move to label a successful black woman an industry plant isn't about evidence, it's about comfort. It reassures people that nothing we earn is real, that proximity to men, to labels, to features must explain our success. Ross didn't critique bars, cadence, or craft. He reached for degradation. That's not analysis, that's contempt. What makes this worse is the chorus of men, especially black men, who nod along or laugh it off when someone like Cuffham, who appeared on his recent stream, pushes back and gets mocked for admiration. The message is loud. Respect for black women is simping, while public disrespect is somehow neutral. That's backwards. If your response to a black woman thriving is to question how she got there, to ask yourself why her excellence feels like an attack. And let's talk about the numbers argument. Streams fluctuate, virality moves. None of that erases the fact that Doechii has a Grammy, critical acclaim, and a growing body of work that resonates. Reducing her career to listener screenshots is a convenient way to dodge the real conversation. Talents plus vision plus work equals momentum. Period. I will put an asterisk just right there, but I'm really fucking feeling this otherwise. The studio disc didn't help either. Dragging her name alongside everyone from Joe Budden to Lil TJ to Lil Durk with cameo energy from 6ix9ine just underscored the spectacle. It wasn't a response, it was a tantrum dressed up as content. What's telling is Doechii's reaction, or lack of one. Posting about success, sunsets, and staying focused is grown behavior. It's also strategic. Black women are constantly pressured to prove we deserve peace while others profit from provoking us. Refusing to perform rage doesn't mean silence, it means discernment. Here's the bottom line. No one is owed access to black women's bodies, gratitude, or humility, and certainly not our names as props for engagement farming. If you're a black man agreeing with Ross, pause, ask yourself why you're comfortable when disrespect is the punchline. Ask why you're louder about imagined shortcuts than you are about real work. Ask why defending black women still feels optional. And to Adin Ross, critique the music if you can. If you can't, keep black women's names out of your mouth. Applause for that. If I had the 9-second applause from Justin Hunt, I would have hit it right then. This is Kalila Archie on BET.com. And I am fucking with that. I'm dropping that link in the chat in case anybody wants to check out that article. I would love to see that get as much engagement as possible because it sort of reflects how a lot of us are feeling. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome, Raiders. I'm going to put all this nonsense to bed real quick. And for those who don't know, this is the morning show.
Welcome back to New York, Ed, Lisa, and Dre.
Like and subscribe, homie, friend. It's free. Stop playing.